Chelsea have done it. They have not done it the easy way, but they have done it nonetheless. Welcome back to another Chelsea first team match reaction from a 3-2 win in the Champions League. The first team to beat Napoli at the Diego Maradona Stadium this season. Make sure to like and subscribe. We are going to get straight into it, talking key moments, standout performances, and main talking points from an action-packed game. Is there ever a game that Chelsea are part of that doesn't have everything? I go through every single emotion when I watch this team. Everything tonight. In terms of scope of emotions, I've hit the highest of highs and the lowest of lows in the last 90 minutes. It has been an absolute... It's been a ride. And to think that we have secured automatic qualification after some of those performances, after some of those damning results, let's be honest, the results against teams like Karabag, performances, even though we got the points, performances against teams like Paphos, it's been touch and go for a while. And Chelsea fans were hoping against hope, hoping and praying tonight that we could go there and do virtually the unthinkable against, I'll reiterate, a team that has not lost at home this season. And again, wasn't vintage, wasn't glamorous, wasn't particularly fun to watch. But my God, did we get the job done. And we finish 6th in the Champions League table. To think that we're 1 point behind Spurs is a mazzoline. But we have somehow secured automatic qualification. And today, all credit goes to, I ain't even going to ask who man of the match is, Joao Pedro. Gave an elite centre-forward performance against Crystal Palace in the weekend, should I say, and then a fantastic performance again today. I think in the first half, feeding off scraps, still going about his business, still challenging, still trying to hold up play, still trying to string things together, even though he was extremely isolated. And the quality of the two finishes alone, I mean, he could have done nothing for the other 90 minutes. The quality of the first finish was nuts. I mean, we know this guy can strike a ball, and having seen how he hits him on his weak foot against Brentford, yeah, no surprise that he caught it like he did today. But my word, these lot have been taking tips. These lot have been taking lessons from Esteval on how to strike a ball with your left. I'll tell you that for free. What a finish from Joao Pedro. And I think, you know what, in some ways, the second goal was as, if not more, impressive. The way in which he works the space, and I think that's my favourite thing about Joao Pedro, and has been since we signed him, is his footwork, his technical ability is superb. We all have seen those little clips where, you know, he manoeuvres the ball, you know, just flicks it around the defender or flicks it through his legs. The way he moves in tight spaces and his ability to, you know, change direction, put it on his left, put it on his right. He bamboozles defenders. And it is an excellent trait to have. Being, I wouldn't say equally deadly off both feet, but being able to score with both feet is an incredibly underrated trait, particularly for a striker. And I think he is, what's he on now? 12, 13, 14 goals for the season? Whatever his numbers are, he's putting them up. If I'm not mistaken, he's got the most goals out of all the summer signings. Yeah, incredibly happy with Joao Pedro tonight and how he's progressing. I think there was a period where, you know, Chelsea fans weren't sure whether he was a 9, whether he was a 10. I don't think Maresca was sure. And we did look devoid of a number 9, a centre-forward. But in the last 2 appearances, the last week alone, Joao Pedro's shown us that he can do that job. And yeah, just to reiterate, he is a sensational footballer. Fantastic performance from him. Man of the match performance from Joao Pedro again today. But Cole Palmer coming on. I can't have been the only one who saw the team sheet and went, why are we not starting Cole Palmer? We've rested him at the weekend, or he hasn't played at the weekend. Chelsea fans have assumed that that's because we want him to start tonight. No Cole Palmer from the start. We're thinking, are we ever going to see this guy back to full fitness? Are we ever going to see this guy in his stride again? And I don't think you could say that he was bang on it when he came on, but 2 assists from open play. Hold that. Sack arse. 2 assists, crucial assists, well-timed, well-placed, good passes, looked solid, didn't do too much, but did what was necessary. Getting him back to where he can be and where we know he is at his best has got to be not necessarily priority number 1 for the club, but it's got to be up there. It's top 3. We need Cole Palmer fit, available, contributing every single game. Because I think we saw in the first half, particularly Esteval, as fantastic as he is, as talented as he is, I don't think he suits that central role, particularly not, against, and it's a little bit of a difficult comparison to make because obviously Champions League tonight, not Premier League, and he's been playing wide in the Premier League and he's been doing bits. But I think Napoli or the Italian League is fairly similar to the Premier League in terms of its intensity, its physicality. And I think Esteval will struggle, definitely with his current stature, his current physicality. I think he will struggle in that number 10 role. We've seen more accomplished players in Europe, Florian Wirtz, come into the Premier League and struggle to play that kind of number 10 role. It's a position that it doesn't really exist in the Prem as it does in other leagues, where you've got a lot more space in the Bundesliga and La Liga. You see a lot more, prominent 10s, really good technical footballers that have fantastic output, put up great numbers. Then they come to the Prem and just can't do it. And they do have to be, shifted out wide or to a second striker or to a different position, false 9. Kai Havertz is another one of those players that, doesn't really have a best position in England, I would say. And Esteval, I think, struggled in the middle. Having Cole Palmer back, just alleviating that pressure off Esteval, because we all know how good he is. I've been, a main culprit of saying, look, while Palmer's out, give Esteval the reins, let him loose, let him go and show everybody what he can do. But he's obviously not ready-made to kind of just plug and play and do what Cole Palmer's been doing for 2 years. And I think Cole Palmer is a lot better suited to that central role than Esteval is. If we can keep Cole Palmer consistently fit, playing in that centre with Esteval off the right, I have no doubt that the pair of them will tear up any competition. I was going to say the Premier League, any competition. With Palmer and Esteval, and then players like Caicedo behind them, Chelsea could be... This is a serious, serious team. But tonight, and I won't dwell on it because tonight is a big, big positive, and I don't want to sit here and talk negatives. But tonight, again, few too many solid individual performances, I think. I think Cucurella was poor again. Fofana, I thought, was dreadful in the first half, poor in the second. Malo Gusto, he operates, and something I said earlier as well when I was watching it, I think it's hard to take Malo Gusto out of the team because you see the inverted role he does when he kind of comes into midfield, changing positions so frequently. His work rate's fantastic, stamina's fantastic, but it's just his quality in the final third. He operates the spaces brilliant and he does the job that the manager wants him to do from a defensive point of view. So it's difficult to say that somebody else should be playing that role instead of him. But going forward, he just takes up a space. And when we're seeing whatever you want to, those fullbacks coming into the inverted role, into those half space, into the midfield, into the final third, Malo Gusto is not the one you want to be, trying to turn it around a corner or having a shot or trying to create an opportunity. And that's where I think this Chelsea system needs to evolve under Liam Rosenior. Because I said it tonight and I'll say it again. I think tonight was an Enzo Maresca team, Enzo Maresca style, Enzo Maresca performance. I don't see any real imprint from Liam Rosenior. One of the main things that I think people, particularly on social media, on Twitter, picked up on was players saying that they feel they're a lot more free. They've got more freedom to play. I don't see that. If anything, I feel like it's more rigid, more pedestrian, slower, more sideways. So I think in terms of the whole team, also shout out to Robert Sanchez, a couple of huge saves in there as well. At this point, he has allowed 5 or 6 bozo moments a season. He's allowed 1 or 2 a game. Yeah, he's pulling out some world-class saves, world-class performances, and saved us at the end. Also, the reason this is slightly late is I was watching the other games. Benfica, Jose Mourinho, football heritage. What has happened? Unbelievable scenes. I've been slagging off this Champions League format for God knows how long, but I mean, tonight was exciting. Benfica But yeah, I think aside from the rest of the team needing to kind of pull their weight, look, let's focus on the positives. I've said it twice, I'll say it a third time. Only team to beat Napoli at the Diego Maradona Stadium this season so far. So it was always going to be a tricky one tonight. I think the fact that we have got through it, massive positive. The fact that we are, 5 wins from 6 under Rosina, 6 wins from 7. Look, we're building a nice little head of form. Big game at the weekend, West Ham. Just as they're coming back into form, it'd be typical if they nick points off us at the Bridge. But then all eyes, obviously, at this point on that second leg at Arsenal now. I've just lamented them for resting Cole Palmer. Do not even think about playing Cole Palmer against West Ham. Do not even think about starting Esteban against West Ham. Go for the 3 in midfield. Play Pedro Neto and Garnacho. What was about the Gittins also today? I'm not sure about that. Bringing him on and taking him off. Only for us to sit deeper and nearly concede 2 goals. That was very strange. But I'm not going to sit here and criticise the manager because at the end of the day, he put Cole Palmer on, had the effectual assists. He changed it around a little bit. And I think we did improve in the second half. But still a lot of work to do. Don't get it twisted. But yeah, onwards and upwards. Looking forward to the next, unfortunately, not a playoff game, so we won't be able to get more loyalty points, won't be able to go. But look, in terms of the players' workload, in terms of what we're aiming for this season, definitely glad that we've gone and got that automatic promotion. And it's absolutely hilarious that a team like Arsenal can be doing bits week in, week out, wiping the floor with teams and end up in virtually the same situation as us in the Champions League. So for all the criticism I've given the new format, for that, we take the dub. But yeah, that about wraps it up. Let me know who your man of the match was today. If it's not Joao Pedro, I'll be very interested to hear who it is and why. Make sure to follow all of our social medias at twobluespodcast on the Instagram to stay up to date with all of the latest news and updates. And you'll be getting more content from me this week. We've got Academy content. We've got the second episode of The Blueprint. Let me know in the comments, who do you think the second episode is going to be? Ibrahim Rabaj was episode 1. Go and watch that now. Episode 2 coming out this week. Soon followed by Lone Watch, the January edition, talking more about Aaron Anselmino being recalled. Go and watch the old episode where we already mentioned that was a possibility. We're going to be talking about him, Mamadou Sarr, and a lot more. Kendry Paez also now confirmed back to South America. Couldn't hack it in Europe. Doesn't bode well. But we will discuss that next week. Anyway, until then, up the Chels.